Okay, quickly back to request response. The whole log, unlike the events, is initiated and requested by a subscriber. So the subscriber will start the whole cycle in that case. And we have mentioned that before yesterday. I'll show you in a second again something you've seen before. The publisher is to some extent the passive member there in that whole thing. It waits for it to be queried by the subscriber. I mentioned the package, and as you can see, same thing again. You send a request, at some stage you might get a response. So it's asynchronous. Remember this? It's the nice picture you had yesterday. Agent, the subscriber side goes, I want something, and he tells it by a query what it wants. The SIF then goes, says to the provider in that zone that agent has requested in, goes to its provider, says, hey dude, someone wants that sort of data, give it to me, and comes back with something, gives it to the SIS. And the SIS at some stage when it feels like it, normally pretty much instantly, will send it back to the agent, depending again which mode the agent is, remember push or pull mode, that's how we will get it, and does then what it needs to be done. Other agents don't get any of it. They have not requested the data, the SIS will not give anything to them. That's a repeat for yesterday, but I hope. Mentioned, it is the subscriber that initiates the whole cycle of things. Now we have seen the SIF query. You request data by telling the provider what data you want, and that's a SIF query. You might have no condition in the SIF query. And the SIF query you can pretty much compare to a SQL query. Not easy notation because we translate in some XML, but generally it's the same concept. You say what you want by providing a condition. If you don't provide a condition, it means give me everything you have. It's like a blank select star from. That is, you might think, oh no, why did I want to do that? I don't want everything every time. That is correct. But you want everything the first time an agent registers there for the first time ever, because it has to sync up its application is responsible for with the data that is provided by whoever. So the initial thing whenever an agent comes up for the first time, or even subsequently at some stage you think, I think my data's out of whack, something must have gone wrong or whatever. I just want everything again to completely synchronize my target system with whatever the source has. That's a typical situation you would go with a sync without, we call it an initial sync, but what it really means is you send a blank query or an unbound query, and you will get back whatever is, or should get back whatever is there on the other side. In the subsequent conditions, and you've seen that Interoperability agent as a very typical case where you go, oh, I've received an object, could be the school enrollment has been taken as an example, could be the daily attendance. I received that, but I don't actually have the parent object for it. So you might send a query saying, give me the missing bit with the condition RefID equals blah, or any other conditions you might think of that are valid. The subscriber then, of course, at some stage gets response back and processes it. That's pretty much the whole reason why I actually initiated the query first. The subscriber also has to manage errors. Typical errors, the SIF specification states, is if I send a query, the provider might not be able to deal with that query. For whatever reason, let's say the SIF for FID is pretty much the one you could expect, but you might have another query saying, give me all schools that are non-government schools and have this and have that and blah blah and this and that. And on the other side it goes, ugh, I have no idea what you want, I'm not geared to answer you to that complex query, because I only geared to queries that are bound by RefID. In that that's valid, so the provider can tell, nah, that's a query I do not accept, and will return an error with the error condition unsupported query. And I will show you how that's done later on. So then the subscriber must be able to deal with that. So you will get a response back saying, hey, you have requested something that cannot be provided.